Hello there, good afternoon. I hope you've all settled in and enjoyed those conversations. I know I have. My name's Rosanna Lockwood. I'm an international journalist and presenter, and I've got a fantastic conversation for you next. Try and think about a project bigger than the Olympic Games, and who better to speak to then than the CEO of the organising committee of the most recent Olympic and Paralympic Games that were in Paris. Because it's a huge responsibility for any host country to deliver an Olympic Games. You're under a great deal of scrutiny, and I can say this as a journalist because I'm the type of person that scrutinises Olympic organising committees. Very nice indeed. I mean, you can see how much thought's gone into kind of getting the story and the meaning, the vision behind every visual aspect and practical aspect of the Games. Just before we move on, I want to talk to you about the slogan then, because you mentioned it was Games Wide Open. How did that come about?
Yeah, once we had the environment.
And that's the magic factor. You've talked to me about this before. Tell our audience here why it's so important.
Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Green Hydrogen Summit here at Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week 2026. I'm Rosanna Lockwood, an international journalist and broadcaster, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here this afternoon. I am joined on stage, as you can see here, by a very esteemed panel. So if you'll allow me just a minute or two to introduce them properly so you can get the context for this conversation. Joining me immediately to my left is His Excellency Organisations. Where do you think the international system is falling short at the moment? But to end on a positive note, what do you think can be done to ensure better collaboration across multilaterals? I'm going to take that hope and wrap things up there. Hope for the UN and hopefully hope for the rest of us and hope for climate solutions going forward. Please give a round of applause to our esteemed panellists today. Thank you so much.
But we're very curious to know how many COPs you reckon you've been to?
I can't remember.
And that's a great answer, because it's been a lot, hasn't it?
It's been a lot. But I was involved in the very first treaty, the Kyoto Treaty, back in 1997, 98.
The World Leaders Summit kicking off tomorrow. We're going to hear powerful speeches. You're going to see those rooms full of flags. All looks very impressive. But how much progress is actually made in those meetings, and how much is actually done behind the scenes?
It's mostly done behind the scenes.
Coming up tomorrow at COP29, it's Food, Agriculture and Water Day. At 9:30 a.m, the COP presidency. And don't forget, you can get the full programme details via the QR code. Well, Tim, 3 days of TCS Summit Europe have come to an end. And I got to say, this event has far exceeded my expectations, which were already pretty high in terms of the types of things we've learned. Well, obviously, I love talking about geopolitics and economics, and I felt that those topics were covered pretty thoroughly throughout the summit. Also, the athletes that we heard from today, absolutely inspiring. The way that they've harnessed creativity, innovation and resilience to drive forward through their careers, that's something I'm going to take home with me. UN Sustainable Development Goals calls for the need to promote the rule of law at both national and international levels. Diversity, equity and inclusion in their industry. Gaia X thinks the answer lies in decentralisation and a common standard for trust. Bank Pareto Securities is rooted in the maritime and energy sectors, making it a key player in this conversation. In terms of appetite for investment, you've already talked about the vast deal volumes that you transact, but also... Let's go there then. As we bring this up, because it will be forefront of a lot of people's minds. Cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, crypto technologies. Just a few years ago, members of the public wouldn't have known what they were. Then all of a sudden, pandemic, retail boom, everything else, you suddenly saw people heavily invested. It's a global one as well. Can one company really make that much of a difference?
Air pollution is a dirty job and someone has to do it.
And then I'm going to turn it over to you, the audience. I want to encourage you now. Do submit your questions. You've got that tab function in the top right-hand corner of your screen. The team here are going to see all those, and then I will pose them to Aswath. But now we do have a lot of questions coming in, so we do actually want to get to these to give you the opportunity to pose your thoughts to Aswath. If we have time, we'll get to all of them. Please do continue to submit them, but we've got a few to start us off here, Aswath.